Today Yuzu's girl pal, Midori, informs her that she's pregnant and wants to meet. Upon hearing this, Yuzu asks Tamahiko what she should do. Tamahiko tells her that she should go see Midori. After a heartfelt departure with Tamahiko, Yuzu meets up with Midori. The two girls talk about their beau. While sleeping together, the girls reminisce about their childhood days at the dorm. When it's time for Yuzu to return, Midori thanks her for coming. Yuzu takes her hand and says that her joy means the world to her. Suddenly, the ground starts to shake. At the village, Tamahiko sees his peaceful little village in complete chaos. The earthquake had caused a nationwide upheaval. Just when Tamahiko's worst thoughts begin to overtake him, he finds Yuzu's letter. Upon opening the letter, he reads Yuzu's birthday wish and how she has knitted him mittens and matching scarf. After reading the letter, Tamahiko decides to go look for Yuzu in Tokyo. As he's leaving for Tokyo, Tamahiko finds Ryo and the kids. Ryo tells him that she's coming with her as she's worried about Ryotaro too. The kids inform Tamahiko about the dire situation of their homes and families. Tamahiko decides to lend his villa as a safe harbor for those in need. After an extensive walk, Tamahiko and Ryo find shelter for the night. Ryo commends Tamahiko's willpower. Tamahiko tells her that before Yuzu, he didn't realize how scary it is to lose someone dear. Once they arrive in Tokyo, as Tamahiko desperately begins his search for Yuzu, he stumbles upon Tamako. Just after seeing her, Tamahiko ends up collapsing. After regaining consciousness, he's greeted by his uncle Tamasuk. Without waiting a second, Tamahiko gets up to search for Yuzu. This time, he's accompanied by Tamako. While walking, the two are saddened by the horrors of the earthquake. When they hear about the devastating damage and the life lost, Tamahiko begins to shake in fear. He starts thinking about the worst. Tamako takes his hand in hers and says that she won't forgive Yuzu if she leaves them. As she begins to sob, Tamahiko pulls himself together and begins to pat his little sister's head. Just after a short walk, the two run into Midori, who informs them that Yuzu was separated from her. Tamahiko tells Tamako to stay with Midori. As Tamahiko resumes his search, he stumbles upon two siblings. They tell him that their big sister helped them when they were separated from their parents, but now she has fallen ill. Tamahiko later comes to find out that the kids were calling Yuzu their big sister. In her subconscious mind, Yuzu finds herself calling for Tamahiko. She desperately wants to be reunited with him and express her love for him. Fortunately, the heaven take mercy on her as Yuzu slowly and gradually gains her consciousness. When she sees Tamahiko's concerned face, Yuzu immediately engulfs him into a hug and then a kiss. Tamahiko pulls back, embarrassed, and tells her that they're not at home. When Yuzu looks around, she finds herself surrounded by her loved ones. At the hospital, Tamahiko is greeted by his father and sister. Tamayosha maintains his cold exterior, but despite his father's rudeness, Tamahiko tells him that he's glad to see him fine. After returning home to Chiba, Tamahiko tells his students to help one another in these trying times. The young kids take Tamahiko's lesson to heart and devote themselves to building back their beloved village. When Tamahiko returns from the hot spring, he gets a surprise birthday party. Surrounded by friends and family, Tamahiko thanks them individually for the love they've shown him. He then turns to Yuzu and thanks her for being alive. This story tells us that we must cherish the people who are important to you before losing them. Hi, I'm Jenny from Quick Anime Recap. Thanks for watching and see you all in next video.